the sudden appearance of Manipur MLA Yumnam Khemchand Singh in Ukhrul district came at a moment when the region was already undergoing a sensitive reshuffling of underground leadership, making his journey far more politically loaded than what his social media posts attempted to portray. His carefully crafted Facebook update showing him with LT Gen Honreishang Shadang, the newly appointed Longvibu Commander-in-Chief of NSCN-IM, was enough to raise eyebrows across Manipur's hill and valley political circles. But for the Kuki community, who had watched the same MLA remain largely silent during the violent conflict that ravaged their people, this meeting carried a deeper, more unsettling message. The timing of this encounter cannot be dismissed as coincidence. It took place exactly when NSCN-IM was preparing for a major internal transition, with LT Gen Honreishang Shadang poised to take over the Longvibu position from the retiring General Anthony Ninkan Shimre. Shadang, a native of Grihang village in Ukhrul district, ascends to leadership at a time when the political landscape of the northeast is shifting rapidly under the pressures of competing ethnic aspirations, negotiating tables with New Delhi, and the ongoing turmoil in Manipur. Also in the background is the expectation that Deputy Arto Kilantsa vs Atom may soon succeed TH. Moreover, yet another leadership change inside an organization long known for its political influence across Naga-inhabited areas. Against this backdrop, Khemchand's visit to Ukhrul, especially his detour to Litan Kuki IDP camp, takes on an entirely different meaning when examined closely. His public narrative was that he visited the camp for humanitarian concern, yet the Kuki Inpi Manipur press note released on December 10 paints a starkly different picture. According to the Kuki apex body, his appearance in the camp felt neither comforting nor trustworthy. The heavy escort, the suddenness of the visit, and the absence of meaningful engagement with the displaced families all contributed to a sense of political performance rather than genuine compassion. The press note argued that Khemchand's gestures looked like crocodile tears from a politician who remained silent during the worst phases of the ethnic crisis. The KIM statement also raised the suspicion that such visits were designed to project an image of normalcy, a narrative useful for politicians hoping to show the central government that the hills were once again accessible to valley leaders. But beneath this public facade, the more significant event remained his meeting with the NSCN-IM's new military chief. In the political imagination of Manipur's conflicted terrain, no visit to a sensitive district is ever accidental. Ukhrul is not just another hill district. It is the emotional, political and organizational nerve center of NSCN-IM. For decades, leaders from this region have held commanding positions within the outfit, shaping its ideological backbone and negotiating stance. The elevation of LT Gen Honreishang Shadang continues this trend. When such a monumental leadership handover is underway, the arrival of a prominent Meitei MLA, known for his political ambitions and proximity to power, naturally prompts questions. Why now? Why there? And why with this level of publicity? The most probable political inference is that the visit's real purpose lay in the meeting with NSCN-IM leadership. The stop at the Kuki IDP camp, despite being presented as the highlight of the day, appears more like a strategic diversion, an act designed to soften the optics, to distract from the political significance of the Ukhrul leg of his tour. It provided a convenient humanitarian cover, allowing him to frame the journey as a peace outreach rather than a politically sensitive engagement with one of the most influential armed organizations in the region. The Kuki Inpi Manipur's press statement amplifies this suspicion. It argues that Khemchand's actions align with a long-observed pattern of divide-and-rule tactics, historically used by dominant valley leadership to create disunity among hill communities. In the context of the present conflict, where Kukis have repeatedly accused the state government of complicity or silence during mass displacement, the sudden outreach appears not only insincere but potentially manipulative. The KIM statement also interprets the visit as part of a broader attempt to restore a facade of stability, one that could impress central leaders eager to show progress in Manipur's political paralysis. It is no secret that New Delhi has been exploring ways to revive political structures in the state, even though large sections of the Kuki population consider a return to a unified Manipur under the current system unacceptable. For them, the demand for a separate administration or a safeguarded political arrangement is now non-negotiable. Khemchand's movements must therefore be seen through this larger lens, an attempt to demonstrate that Meitei politicians can once again travel into hill areas, thereby suggesting that administrative normalcy is returning. This illusion of regained access can be a powerful political message when communicated to Delhi. But the optics become sharper when considered from the perspective of NSCN-IM. The outfit has always maintained a pan-Naga nationalist narrative, yet its influence has occasionally intersected with Manipur's internal ethnic politics. A Meitei MLA meeting with the organization's newly ascending Longvibu sends a distinct message. A Meitei power broker seeking understanding, influence, or negotiation channels with the Naga leadership at a time when Manipur remains divided into ethnic enclaves. Whether this meeting was meant to explore coordination, reduce tensions, build secret political alliances, or simply understand NSCN-IM's stance during the state's crisis, the fact remains that it elevates the meeting far above the narrative of an IDP camp visit. From the Kuki viewpoint, such interactions trigger deep concerns. The conflict has already exposed fractures not just between the valley and the Kuki-Zo communities, but also in the delicate relationships among hill groups. Any engagement between Meitei leaders and powerful Naga organizations therefore carries implications for the overall balance of influence. It is precisely this dynamic that the Kuki Inpi Manipur appears to caution against. Their press note suggests that meetings like these may create political undercurrents aimed at influencing hill-based organizations in ways that do not necessarily align with Kuki interests or aspirations. Furthermore, the Kuki Inpi statement directly accuses MLA Khemchand of attempting to manipulate perceptions by staging visits that paint an artificial picture of peace. This theatricality, as the statement implies, is aimed at bolstering his political credentials within the Meitei community by projecting him as a strong leader capable of entering sensitive areas without fear. Simultaneously, it allows him to signal to central leaders that Manipur is inching toward reconciliation, even if the ground reality remains unchanged. The displacement of over 100,000 Kuki civilians, the destruction of entire neighborhoods, and the absence of justice or accountability continue to define the lived experience of Kukis today. In this context, a photo-op visit by a politician who did little during the most devastating phase of the crisis naturally feels hollow. The KIM statement underscores this sentiment, calling out the hypocrisy of crying for peace only when political advantage can be gained. The real anxiety underlying the Kuki reaction is the fear that such political maneuvers may prefigure attempts to force a premature political settlement that disregards their demands. The separate administration aspiration remains rooted in the community's collective trauma and the ongoing sense of insecurity. For many Kukis, no Meitei-led government, interim or otherwise, can guarantee their safety or political rights under the current circumstances. It is only under a new administrative arrangement, with its own enforcement mechanisms, that they believe meaningful security and justice can be achieved. Against this backdrop, Khemchand's meeting with NSCN-IM leadership takes on a tangible strategic dimension. If he was exploring understandings with Naga leadership, it could imply attempts to build a Valley Naga consensus regarding the future of Manipur that sidelines Kuki aspirations. Alternatively, it may suggest he was attempting to ensure that NSCN-IM does not tilt towards supporting Kuki-Zo territorial aspirations, which could alter the political map of the region. Either scenario holds significant implications for the community's sense of security. The appointment of LT. Gen Honreishang Shadang itself is worth reflecting upon. He represents a younger generation of NSCN-IM leadership and comes at a time when the group faces pressure to adjust itself to new regional realities. His rise indicates both continuity and transformation within the organization, continuity in Naga nationalism, and transformation in adapting to a more complex northeast landscape. His connection to Grehang village also ties him deeply to a region historically linked to the movement. When a Meitei MLA walks into this environment, engages with such figures, and then tries to repackage the visit as a humanitarian outreach, it naturally triggers political scrutiny. The careful crafting of Khemchand's public messaging, highlighting Litan IDP camp while downplaying Ukhrul, reflects an attempt to control narratives to ensure that the public sees what he wants them to see, not what political reality suggests. For the Kukis, the stakes are not symbolic, they are existential. They do not have the luxury of political theatre. Their villages burned, their communities displaced, their trust shattered, Any political move from Valley leaders is therefore viewed with caution, especially when it involves organizations that have historically shaped the political destiny of the region in ways that do not always align with Kuki interests. The Kuki Inpi Manipur statement concludes by warning that the central government must not be misled by political gimmicks. It urges New Delhi to prioritize justice, safety, and meaningful guarantees, rather than endorsing a popular government narrative that has no acceptance among the displaced Kuki population. The statement reiterates that only a separate administration can address the community's grievances and protect them from the vulnerabilities exposed by the recent violence. In summary, Khemchand's meeting with LT Gen Honreishang Shadang is more than a photograph. It is an intersection of shifting underground power, valley political ambitions, the fragile hill valley equilibrium, and the unresolved wounds of a traumatized community. It is a reminder that behind every public gesture in Manipur lies a complex web of political motives. And for the Kukis who have paid the highest price in the conflict, this moment serves as yet another warning that until justice, security, and political guarantees are in place, no visit, no matter how well packaged, will restore trust or inspire confidence. Sources: Zalengam Media Monitoring Unit. Statements released by Kuki Inpi Manipur, DEC 2025. NSCN-IM Internal Leadership Order, Public Domain Extracts. Public photos and posts shared by MLAY Khemchand Singh. Regional Political Analysis Archives, 2023-2025. Disclaimer: this analysis is prepared for educational and media commentary purposes by Zalengam Media. It is based on publicly available information, community statements, political patterns, and reasonable inferences. It does not claim inside knowledge, nor does it accuse any individual or group of wrongdoing beyond what is publicly known. Viewers are encouraged to cross-verify information and engage critically. For more such grounded political analysis, community updates, and Northeast investigative reports, please subscribe to Zalengam Media.
Development process so why should not we think for this young generation? Why should not we think for this young generation? I future what Hill and Valley